Most people applying for Portugal's D7 visa are told they need to park about $13,000 into a Portuguese bank account before their visa is approved, almost $19,000 for a couple. And I know retirees who walked away from their Portugal dream right there. If that number is stopping you, don't close this video yet. There's a gray area in the D7 rules that most immigration guides never clearly spell out. And if your main income is Social Security or a pension, it could completely change how you apply. By the end of this video, you'll know whether you truly need that full 12-month deposit or whether your guaranteed income can carry more of the weight. If you appreciate this type of content, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and let's get into it. So let's start with the basics, because you need to understand the full rule before you can understand why there might be a workaround. The D7 visa is Portugal's passive income visa. It's for people who are moving to Portugal who don't plan to work or be employed. They're independently wealthy, they have passive income from investments, or they're retired and living on Social Security and a pension. There are many other types of visas available for digital nomads, entrepreneurs, students, investors, but the D7 is by far the most popular route for non-EU citizens moving to Portugal. To qualify right now, you need to show a regular monthly income equivalent to Portugal's current minimum wage. That's 920 euros for a single applicant, or 1,380 euros a month for a couple. That income needs to be stable, recurring, and verifiable. It can be rental income, investment dividends, a pension, Social Security. All of these can count as long as you can prove them on paper. Now, on top of that income requirement, most U.S. consulates are currently strongly recommending, and in some cases effectively requiring, that you deposit 12 months worth of income into a Portuguese bank account before your visa is approved. The reasoning is simple. The government wants assurance that you can support yourself for at least the first year without relying on a job or government assistance. For a single applicant, that means you'll need to deposit roughly 11,040 euros into a Portuguese bank, call it 13,000 US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. For a couple, that's almost $19,000. But for a lot of people, that's the number that stops them cold. Not every couple has $19,000 in cash sitting around that they can lock away into a foreign bank account while they wait months for a visa decision that they might not even get. But I don't want you to look back 3 years from now and say, geez, I could have been living in Portugal this whole time, but I got scared off by this recommendation that wasn't even really written into the law. Because here's the thing, and this is where the gray area starts to come up. That 12-month deposit is not a hard and fast law. Technically, the law only requires proof of financial resources or means of subsistence for 12 months. It doesn't specifically say that 12 months of earnings must be deposited into a Portuguese bank. But that's how many consulates often interpret it. And when I say consulates, I'm really talking about VFS Global, the private outfit that handles visa applications on behalf of the Portuguese government. They have discretion to decide if you meet the income requirement. And when you understand that, the whole picture looks different. They don't evaluate all income sources the same way. Rental income from a property someone could stop renting, or investment dividends that rise and fall with the market. Those are viewed as far less stable. They can count, but they're not a sure thing. But a government pension or Social Security are different. That income doesn't randomly stop. It doesn't swing up and down with the stock market. It's backed by the federal government. And consulates know that. Because of that, I've seen retirees get approved for the D7 visa without the full 12-month deposit sitting in a Portuguese bank, because their main source was considered essentially guaranteed. And in those cases, the consulate was satisfied that the money would be there month after month, without needing to see a giant lump sum parked overseas. Now, quick break, because this part can save you a lot of frustration. If you're putting together your D7 application and you want a step-by-step checklist of exactly what documents to include, I've put together a free guide that walks you through the process in plain English. It covers the income proof, the bank statements, the criminal background check, and all the little details that people get tripped up on. You can download it using the link in the description and in the pinned comment below. All right, back to the Social Security angle, because this is the most practical tip I can give you. Go to the ssa.gov website, sign into your account, and download what's called a benefit verification letter. or you can request a hard copy by mail. It's free, it takes maybe 5 minutes, and it shows your guaranteed monthly Social Security payment in writing. That one document included in your D7 application package can do a lot of the heavy lifting that the bank deposit is supposed to do. It proves the income is real, it proves it's recurring, and it proves it isn't going anywhere. You'll want to pair that letter with recent bank statements, usually 3 to 6 months, showing those same Social Security amounts actually landing into your account every month. On paper, you're saying, here's the official promise from the US government, and here's the real-world proof that the money shows up on time. That combination can be a very strong argument for why you shouldn't be treated the same way as someone relying entirely on a volatile investment income. And if you also have a private pension, that can only strengthen your application. That said, I want to be straight with you here. Every US consulate interprets the rules a little differently. The gray area is real, but so is the variation. The consulate in New York might handle D7 applications slightly differently than the one in Washington or San Francisco or Los Angeles. Enforcement has tightened over the years too. There's a lot less wiggle room than there was when I first came over. And sometimes it can depend on the person you're interviewing with. So here's my actual recommendation. If you can get that money into a Portuguese bank account, do it. If moving to Portugal is a serious long-term decision for you, that deposit buys you clarity. It removes a big chunk of ambiguity from your application. It signals to the consulate that you're not just testing the waters, you're committed to making Portugal your home. And in many cases, a smoother, faster approval is worth more than that tiny bit of interest you might have earned keeping that money somewhere else. But if the 12-month deposit is genuinely out of reach for you right now, you're not automatically out of options. A strong income verification package, your benefit verification letter, several months of bank statements showing consistent deposits, and a clear cover letter, and maybe a little nudge from your lawyer, can still make a compelling case on its own. In that cover letter, you want to say 3 things plainly. Your income is guaranteed by the US government, it comfortably exceeds the D7 minimum, and while you can't place the full 12-month deposit in the bank right now, you have the means to support yourself month to month. The key is to check directly with your specific consulate before you assume the exception applies to you. Don't rely on some random Facebook or Reddit post from 2022. Call the consulate, send an email, or have your immigration attorney reach out on your behalf. And if you can, get their guidance in writing. The D7 is still one of the most accessible visas for Americans who want to live abroad on a modest but stable income. For many retirees, Social Security alone clears the monthly threshold with room to spare. The $13,000 deposit is the part that feels like the biggest barrier. But for retirees with guaranteed income, it may not be the hard barrier it first appears to be, depending on how your consulate applies the rules. The worst case scenario is that you never even apply because you misunderstood that one line in someone else's checklist. That's the kind of quiet regret I'm trying to help you avoid. If you found this one helpful, hit the like button so YouTube knows to show it to more people who are stuck on the same question. And if you want to know more about the latest changes in Portugal's immigration laws, along with a full guide for moving to Portugal, I've made a separate video that walks you through it step by step. You can watch it by clicking right here on the screen or using the link in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Até logo.